You may have the blood of a king, but you do not have the right to the throne.
The words felt heavy in the palace courtyard. The red earth of Enugu was still wet from early morning rain. The elders sat in half circle under the old Udala tree. The carved wooden throne stood empty behind them, covered in red clothes. The air felt thick. Even the birds in the trees seemed to stop singing. Emeka did not move. He stood tall in a simple black shirt and trousers. He had just returned from Lagos 2 days ago. His father, the king, had been buried a week before. Now this. You forgot our gods. You forgot our rights. You built your empire in Lagos. A king is not made in foreign lands, he said. Murmurs spread among the villagers. Ebuka's eyes were calm, but inside his eyes burned.
I did not forget, I only went to learn.
Ebuka was the only son of King Obinnaeze of Umuakwara Kingdom in Enugu State. As a boy, he ran barefoot on the red earth. He learned how to break kola nuts from his father. He listened to stories of ancestors who ruled with strength and fairness, but his father believed in education. Go, King Obinna told him years ago. Learn the wisdom of the white man. Bring it back home, but never forget who you are. Ebuka went to Oxford University. He studied computer engineering. He became brilliant, calm, strategic. After graduation, he returned to Nigeria but settled in Lagos. He founded a tech company that built secure banking systems and smart government software. His company grew fast. Investors respected him. Newspapers called him the silent genius of Lagos. But while he built servers and code, life in Umuakwara moved on without him. Festivals came and went. Traditional rites were performed. Elders met under the Udala tree and Uchenna watched. Uchenna was King Obinna's younger brother. He never left the village. He understood every ritual. He knew every elders by name. He helped the poor. He attended every burial, every marriage. He was respected, and slowly he became powerful. When King Obinna fell sick, Ebuka was in a board meeting in Lagos. He rushed home, but he arrived too late. The palace courtyard was filled with willing women. The ancestral staff of authority lay beside the king's body. Uchenna stood beside it. For the first time, Ebuka saw something in his uncle's eyes that he could not explain. Not grief, something else, something deeper. 7 days after the burial, the Ndiche gathered. The palace courtyard was swept clean. Mats were laid on the floor. Palm wine was poured into a clay cup. Kola nuts were placed in a carved wooden tray. The oldest elder lifted the kola nut. May the ancestors guide us, he prayed before breaking it. All eyes turned to Ebuka and Uchenna. The throne of Umuakwara cannot remain empty, the elder said. The bloodline must continue. Ebuka bowed his head. Uchenna cleared his throat. With respect, he began smoothly. Our tradition is clear. A king must complete secret rites before he ascends the throne. He has not performed these rites. He does not even know them. Whispers grew louder. Ebuka felt heat rise in his chest. I am willing to learn, he said. Teach me. Uchenna shook his head. Kings are prepared from childhood. You were absent. The elders looked uncertain. For the first time in his life, Ebuka felt like a stranger in his own home. Would blood be enough? Back in Lagos, Ebuka tried to fight with logic. He met lawyers in tall glass buildings.
By law, you are the biological son. Customary law supports you.
But tradition is complicated, and your uncle has political friends.
His company office overlooked Victoria Island. Cars moved like ants below. Everything in Lagos felt fast and modern. But his heart remained in Enugu. He returned home again and again. He met elders. He tried to show humility. He attended meetings. He even began learning forgotten rituals. But Uchenna was always ahead. He donated money to village projects. He visited chiefs privately. He whispered, and slowly the tide began to turn. The matter entered the High Court in Enugu. The courtroom was crowded. Journalists came. Politicians watched quietly. Ebuka stood in dark suit. Uchenna wore white traditional attire with coral beads around his neck. The judge listened as lawyers argued. Custom supports direct lineage, Ebuka's lawyer insisted. But cultural participation matters, Uchenna's lawyer replied. A king is not a certificate holder, he is a spiritual guardian. Days turned into weeks. Rumors began to spread. Money exchanged hands behind closed doors. Powerful men visited the judge at night. Ebuka heard whispers. He did not want to believe them. But then came the judgment day. The courtroom was silent.
The court recognizes the importance of cultural continuity. Given the claimant's prolonged absence and insufficient participation in traditional rites, the court rules in favor of Chief Uchenna.
It sounded like thunder. Ebuka felt the world spin. He had lost not only the throne, but his father's legacy. Outside, cameras flashed. Uchenna smiled politely. Ebuka walked past reporters without speaking. That night, alone in his childhood room, he broke down. For the first time since he was a boy, he cried loudly.
Father, did I fail you?
The room gave no answer. 2 days later, Ebuka sat alone near the edge of the village forest. An old man approached slowly with a walking stick.
You look like a man who has lost everything. I have.
When men failed you, he said, let the gods judge. Ebuka frowned. The gods? The deity of whom Akbara does not lie. The old man continued. Before the shrine, truth cannot hide. Ebuka's heart beat faster. The village shrine. No one so falsely dear. No one dear. Will he agree? Ebuka asked. If he believes he is innocent, the old man said softly, he will. Then the old man stood and walked away into trees. Ebuka turned quickly, but he was gone, as if he had never been there. The next morning, Ebuka stood before the Ndiche. I accepted the court's judgment, he said calmly. But I asked for the one final test. Let us swear before the deity. Gaps filled the courtyard. Even Uchenna's confident smile faded slightly. The chief priest was called. The oath of the deity is final. The chief priest won. Whoever lies will face the wrath of the gods. Uchenna hesitated, only for a moment. I have nothing to fear, he said boldly. The death was fixed. The shrine stood deep inside the forest. Tall trees blocked the sunlight. The air smelled of earth and smoke. Villagers gathered at a safe distance. The chief priest stood before the carved wooden image of the deity. The ancestral staff lay beside it. Speak only the truth, the chief priest warned. First, Uchenna stepped forward. I did not manipulate the elders, he declared loudly. I did not bribe any official. I seek this throne only to protect our culture. He touched the sacred staff. The forest became silent. Nothing happened. Some villagers relaxed. Then Ebuka stepped forward. I have spoken no lie, he said quietly. I seek only to honor my father and save his integrity. He touched the staff. Winds moved through the trees. The priest lifted his hands. It is done, he said. For a moment, nothing happened. People began to whisper. Maybe the gods had said nothing. Maybe Uchenna was right. Then, Uchenna staggered. He grabbed his chest. His face twisted in pain. The villagers screamed. He fell to his knee. The priest stepped back in fear. Uchenna's breathing became heavy. His children rushed forward, crying. He raised a shaking hand. Listen, he whispered weakly. His eyes searched for Ebuka. I only wanted to protect what is ours. Tears rolled down his face. Never again fight the throne. He told his children, it is only the gods who make a king. His hands dropped. The forest became still. Uchenna was gone. No one celebrated. Fear and sorrow filled the air. Days later, the elders gathered again. This time, no one argued. The ancestral staff was placed in Ebuka's hand. You are chosen, the oldest elder said. Ebuka did something unexpected. He knelt, not before the elders, but before the shrine. I was proud, he admitted softly. I thought knowledge alone made a leader. I forgot that wisdom also lives in our roots. He lifted his head. I promise to blend modern strength with ancestral truths. Our children will know computer and culture. We will grow, but we will not forget. The villagers nodded. Hope slowly replaced fear. That evening, drum filled the palace courtyard, but Ebuka did not smile widely. He remembered his uncle's last words. Leadership was not a prize. It was a burden chosen by destiny. Under King Ebuka Obinaize, Umuapara began to change. Solar lights lined the streets. Schools received computers, but festivals remained strong. Kolanos were still broken with prayers. The shrines was respected. Tradition did not die, it grew. Visitors came from Lagos and Abuja to study how the kingdom balanced old and new. When asked about his victory, Ebuka always said the same words. I did not win, truth did. And sometimes, late at night, he would walk to the edge of the forest. He never saw the old man again, but he always whispered, thank you. Some says the old man was just a villager. Others believed he was sent by the deity. No one knows. But one truth remained clear in Umuapara. Power does not come from connection. It does not come from court. It does not come from foreign degree. A true king is chosen by destiny and upheld by integrity.